Last year, we initiated research in a somewhat uncharted territory to explore the impact of cognitive biases on romantic relationships. This free session has been created especially for the participants of the research, as promised. If you haven't participated yet, you can still contribute to the research by filling both the RDAS and DACOBS forms in the description below. Watch the videos introducing these before you decide to participate. Links are in the description below. You may also use these or other psychometric tests available completely free on the PsyLearners website to understand yourself, your relationships, and your loved ones better. If you've participated in the research, first of all, a huge thank you. Your contribution made it possible for the dissertation to be successfully completed. And as promised to you, it's time to share with you findings about your cognitive biases and your relationship. But first, let's understand these a bit better so that you can understand the findings better. First, let's understand cognitive biases. Cognitive biases are systematic and universally occurring tendencies, inclinations, or dispositions that skew or distort information processes in ways that make their outcome inaccurate, suboptimal, or simply wrong. In simpler terms, people rely on a limited number of heuristic principles which reduce the complex tasks of assessing probabilities and predicting values to simpler judgmental operations. These heuristics are quite useful, but sometimes they lead to severe and systematic errors. Simply, cognitive biases impact our lives in several ways, positively and negatively. Through this research, we attempt to understand if the presence of such biases has some correlation with, meaning impact on, relationships. This research is important because cognitive biases affect everyone, even the experts in cognitive biases. And understanding their impact on relationships can lay the path to improved relationships for everyone. Let's take a deeper look to understand how these were measured in a scientific manner. Two scales were used, the RDAS and the DACOBS. Both of these are established as amongst the best in what they do and have excellent psychometric properties. We'll briefly explain them next, but if you would like to know more about these scales, please watch the videos introducing RDAS and DACOBS. Links are in the description below. For understanding cognitive biases, DACOBS, the DeVos assessment of cognitive biases, was used. DACOBS covers 4 cognitive biases. First, jumping to conclusions bias, which is the tendency of a person to jump to conclusions, that is, make hasty decisions based on insufficient information. Second, belief inflexibility bias, a bias against evidence that disconfirms existing beliefs. Third, attention for threat bias. The person is always looking for threats. And fourth, external attribution bias. The person attributes own thoughts and actions to an external origin. For understanding relationships, RDAS, the revised dyadic adjustment scale, was used. RDAS covers 3 major dimensions of dyadic relationships. First, dyadic consensus refers to consensus on matters important to the relationship's functioning, specifically decision-making, values, and affection. Second, dyadic satisfaction refers to having a sense of stability in the relationship and the level of conflict therein. And third, dyadic cohesion. This is observed through shared activities and discussions. For those interested in the technicals, this was a quantitative, non-interventional research. The research form was filled by 209 participants, identified using purposive sampling. Out of these, 143 satisfied the criteria to be included in the analysis. Please note, even if your data was not included in the analysis, your personal relationships and biases report is available for you too. The result, null hypothesis, was accepted for all cases, indicating that statistically significant correlation was not found between any of these cognitive biases and overall relationship satisfaction. Statistically significant relationship was found at alpha equal to 0.5 between external attribution bias and satisfaction scale of RDAS. These results were somewhat unexpected and further analysis is required. This is why your report will not have any commentary on the correlation and provides a separated view on relationships and biases. Now, the most important thing, your report. As you can see in the screenshot, the report has 2 sections. relationship, and cognitive biases. In both the sections, the scores are shown in colors ranging from red, indicating concerning level, to green, indicating desired level. The maximum possible score for each is indicated below the respective box. How to interpret your relationship report. The overall relationship score. High score indicates high relationship satisfaction and stability. Low score indicates significant relationship distress and risk of instability. The report is further divided into 3 sections, one each for dyadic consensus, dyadic satisfaction, and dyadic cohesion. Dyadic consensus. High score indicates strong alignment on life goals and daily matters. Low score indicates frequent disagreements on major life values and decisions. Dyadic satisfaction. High score indicates happiness with the relationship and conflict is managed well. Low score indicates high conflict and regret about the relationship. Dyadic cohesion. High score indicates active engagement in shared interests and connection. Low score indicates living parallel lives and lack of shared activities. For each of these, a further breakdown into the constituent parameters are available in your report. To view the cognitive biases report, click on the Cognitive Bias tab at the top. How to interpret your cognitive biases report. The scores for each of the 4 cognitive biases, attention for threat, belief in flexibility, external attribution, and jumping to conclusions bias, are shown in this report. The maximum possible score is 42 for each, which indicates extremely high bias. Minimum possible score is 6 and indicates minimal bias. As humans, we tend to have some bias, so no bias is a rarity. However, the lower the bias, the better it is generally considered to be. Finally, to access the report, just click on the Access Report link provided in the description below. To ensure your data privacy, the report can only be accessed when you're logged into the Gmail account you used for filling the research form. The report is hosted on a Google-owned platform, so you can log in without worrying. And if your browser is already logged into the Google account, you will not even need to log in. With this, we come to the end of this session. Hope that your results will improve your understanding about your relationship and your cognition. If you have any questions or suggestions, please drop them in the comments below.